Yeah, what is up, everybody? Hope you guys had a good weekend. It is good to be back. So I wanted to start off the stream today. I wasn't gonna post my initial impressions on Sunday yet. I wasn't exactly sure if that was how I really felt, and I'm glad I gave it a little bit of time because I think yeah, well, let me preface this by saying, because this is for the YouTube channel, if you guys are watching from YouTube and you haven't seen the stream, make sure you come on by twitch.tv/lvghavoc. I have been playing Mortal Kombat games since MK1 on the Super Nintendo, man. I'm a pretty big Mortal Kombat fan. There's not many Mortal Kombats I don't like. MK vs. DC being one of them. I didn't like MKX at first, and I ended up appreciating that a little more as time went on. But for the most part, I've got extensive experience. I actually streamed MK11 for like 3 years before I kind of got sick of that game. So that's basically where I'm at as far as like my MK experience. Now I'm like into Street Fighter and stuff. I mean, I've been playing fighting games forever, but MK has been a big one. MK and Street Fighter. But low-key, I thought I really didn't enjoy the entirety of MK1 when I played it through the stress test, and I figured out, the more I thought about it, I actually think that I do overall enjoy what I played. There are definitely some good things and definitely some bad things, though. So let's get into the good things. For one, graphics. The game looks amazing. The colors are bright and vibrant. The characters look good, even better than 11, which MK11's, funny enough, is like one of the best looking fighting games on the market, still to this day. But so like MK is one of those games that's like never gonna falter in like the graphics department. It's pretty much always going to be good, no matter what there. So there's definitely some good things as far as like the mechanics go. I definitely enjoy the changes they made to like fatal blows. Crushing blows aren't a thing anymore, which is awesome. You can actually stuff fatal blows now. If they try to do a fatal blow and wake up and you press a button, you just stuff it, which is nice. The armor doesn't come out until like the 3rd or 4th frame, something like that. So if you get an attack out on frame 1, you're good to go. So that's good. The combos in the game look absolutely amazing. They feel absolutely amazing to hit. What little time I got with the stress test, combos that I did hit, especially the aerial combos into like the cameo stuff, was really good. The cameos are okay. I don't think I explored them fully enough to say one way or another. I think I didn't like them at first. They seemed a little cheesy, but I think as time went on and I saw like the combo potential that some people were like showing on Twitter and stuff, I think overall I ended up I think the cameos are going to be really cool. However, I still do think they're kind of cheesy, and I'd almost rather just have a 1v1 fighting game, but that's the route they're going, so I'm going to judge it just based off that gameplay alone. It's good. The game, like I said, feeling like getting the combos, you know, once you hit like a combo, it makes the game feel really fast. However, this is going to take me into my negatives. My negatives, as of right now, the game obviously in neutral feels very slow, and I don't know if it was like a combination of like frame delay inherently baked into the game, with negative edge being unable to change, made me miss a lot of combos. And then like the game just overall in neutral feels really slow, and MK like at its base is neutral, and there's always going to be like, you know, things that make you like negate neutral, you know, Jackie from MK11 example, Cabal after he got to pick whatever variation, like whatever moves in his variations he wanted. You know, slight gas was a huge problem. Shiva, you know, when she was at the height of her brokenness. But ultimately, like, MK's been kind of just about like neutral back and forth movement, finding the whiffs, finding the punishes, but the movement in this just feels really slow, especially like when you're, especially like the dash feels awful in the game. You can't block out of dash. You have to fully commit to the dash. Like, you can crouch out of it, which I think is going to lead to that, but it made me really miss wave dashing. It made me really miss wave dashing from 11. But it wasn't like a huge problem. It just felt really stiff and awkward, and it kind of turned me off of the game until I saw what certain people were doing with things, and it made me realize before, like, when I gave my initial judgment, that it wasn't a fair judgment because I hadn't fully explored the game like I should have. And, you know, honestly, like, I kind of wish during these tech tests developers allowed us to lab stuff. Street Fighter didn't allow us to lab. And this didn't allow us to lab, and MK11, when, you know, stress tests and betas came out, didn't allow us to lab. So I really wish it would lab to show, like, so you could get an understanding of how, like, certain mechanics work without, like, having to worry about what somebody's throwing out at you. Yeah, we had the towers in there, but you still, like, had to worry about certain things while you're doing it if you didn't want to get hit, and, you know, you weren't unfettered to just try whatever you want. Plus, you know, seeing frame data on the screen instead of just reading it in a menu would have been nice. But really, like, that's a big thing. I think the characters ultimately seem like the best versions of themselves. Like, this seems like the neutral seems slower than 11, but a lot of the problems people had with 11 are gone now. Other than that, like, other than the fact that the game is played slower, you have all the combos, you don't have crushing blows, fatal blows get stuffed. However, fatal blows still have enormous pushback on block, which is, I don't know why they decided to do that, but I digress. It is what it is. I mean, if you can stuff it on frame 1, then maybe you don't need the pushback. You can just throw out an attack, you know what I mean? And stuff it instead of blocking it. But your initial reaction is probably going to be to block within the first, you know, month or so. But I think the game overall is going to end up being really good. I just hope that they buff up the speed of dashing, they buff up the speed of, like, moves coming out, which they can do. Well, maybe not the strings, but, like, at least the dashing. Like, they did that with 11. Like, when 11 had its stress test, it was very slow. And when it came out, it was a lot faster. And through the life cycle of the game, they introduced characters and mechanics that made the game play a lot faster, too, which ended up being nice. But yeah, I think overall, I'm gonna kind of end it with this. I think overall, MK1 is going to end up being a good game. It feels a little injustice-y right now, especially with the movement. However, I think as long as they can, you know, nail that down, it'll end up being a really good game. And I hope I think they've committed to supporting the game for more than a few years. So we'll see what comes of that, but I really hope that when it comes out, we get those movement speed buffs and everything changes as far as that goes. And I think the game is going to be a lot of fun. So I'll probably end up pre-ordering it. I'll play it on day one. I know I said I wasn't sure if it was a day one pre-order, but, like, honestly, like I was thinking about it today, like, I kind of missed playing MK1. Especially because the game is so beautiful. Like, I'm a sucker for good graphics, and that game had really good graphics. Like, Johnny's apartment stage is beautiful. There's a lot of effects in there. It's great. The tea house stage looked amazing. So yeah, and, like, I think there's gonna be, like, a lot of dirt too, especially with the cameos. And you know, only seeing 3 cameos kind of sucks. I wish we could have seen more. Hopefully we'll get some more character reveals here soon, some more cameo reveals, and they will, you know, make them better for us. But yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you if you're liking the content, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. It really helps me out. The video content, Street Fighter 6, and especially this last MK1 video did amazing. If you want to catch the fights live, on Twitch, summer hours are at night, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then after summer's over in the fall, I'll be streaming in the morning around 10:30 a.m. So hopefully catch you there, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.